Here's my third video showing evidence of the police harassment and everything else. Now we're going to go looking at snitches. Now this isn't all inclusive. There's a lot more on here coming from different sources that all tie into this. But here we're going to look at my ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, what do you want to call her, Amanda. And this is when her and her, at the time, boyfriend, DJ Lily, uh, tried to set me up with this fat drug dealer named Jerome. I care less about Jerome and what he does, who he does it to, or anything else, except for the fact that, well, he tried to set me up with the cops. Anyway, I was walking down the street. He decided to holler at me. Then he starts calling Amanda and DJ and trying to get a bunch of bullshit going so that DJ could come out there to fight me. That was a setup. I knew it was a setup. You don't, trying to be impartial and not pick sides, start calling up people and trying to get fights started. And why would you try to get a fight started when in front of your house when you're a drug dealer, unless you were doing it for some other reason, like, oh, I don't know, set someone up with the cops? Anyway, this was a text that Amanda sent me, and it's not the whole thing. We had a complete argument over text, but she tells me I was told to stay at Jerome's house. Then she calls me a pussy ass fag. Oh yeah, we were talking about the fact she couldn't pay her bills. Um, so basically, I told her you're full of shit, which I did right there. See it on the screen. And I said, I know a setup, you dumb bitch. Jerome will flip on me as soon as the popo gets called. I ain't playing punk ass games with you. If DJ wants me, he knows where I live. Now, by me doing this, I can't claim the castle law in self-defense or anything like that. If he came into my house at the time, or my apartment at the time, we got into a fight, we'd have both gone to jail. So I gave up any sort of defense to let him come there and start some shit if he wanted to. And the castle law wouldn't have protected him or protected me when I beat the living crap out of him. Uh, Her response to what I said was, and you want him, you know where he lives. But Jerome knew what was going on. That's why he let us know what's up. Really. He knows what's going on. So he knows that DJ is Mary Jennings' daughter's stepson, and that he has family who are cops that cover up for his criminal activity, and that he's an informant. Yeah, it works really well. Anyway, you can read the rest of what I wrote. It was all me shit talking just to piss her off. It's really funny because all you gotta do is call her weak and she gets all pissy and irritant and crybaby and tries to act hard and tough, and she's really not a hard person. And she wants to be a criminal so bad, it's just ridiculous because that's not who she is. I'm going to show those videos after this, then we're going to cut back to show some more little, or not videos, but I'm going to show the pictures. And I'll cut back to more screenshots and images. Okay, now that was the first ambush, and you see the little still shots where she basically admits to trying to set me up. And that's rather circumstantial, and seeing as we're exes and everything else, that, could be put off on that. But no, it gets better. Um, and I had actually had the paperwork typed up and sent to Lieutenant Deeds, mentioning all these snitches and informants that I knew were tied into this. And lo and behold, who comes in and gets involved? None other than DJ's brother, Nathan, going through another informant, Tammy Violet's daughter, Rachel Farmer, who, and does so pretending to be his sister, Jessica, which is really freaking hilarious in and of itself. I don't know if the words will come up here big enough for you to be able to read them all, but it's okay. You could still look at it and see what I'm talking about. And then when we get to that whole affair, Jessica's telling me that she was talking to Rachel, and Rachel said she's going to give me back the $200 in weed that I fronted her. And this was back when I was a drug dealer trying to wine and dine these people to get close to them to get information off of them. Uh, and what's really hilarious about this is there's a whole thing in here about me mentioning, if she's really there and she's really wanting to be friends with me and all this other stuff, then she needs to contact me. And after I point all this out, at first I was just like, yeah, I might show up, blah, 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 because they're trying to get me to come to Rachel's house so DJ could, or Nathan could jump me. Most likely he'd do it with Brian and DJ. So I mentioned all this, and I even mentioned that, thanks for admitting that I fronted $200 in weed, because that was money that she could have paid me, and running her, out to her grandmother's to work out there as an in-home care provider. Jessica I ended up wasting like $200 in gas. So I actually went in the hole selling drugs to try to get in with these people, which is fine with me because I'm not a drug dealer, so I don't really care. Jessica says okay after I tell her to have, or I'm sorry, Rachel says okay after I tell her to have Jessica in contact with me. Otherwise, I think it's a setup. And then I posted this video. I like the song from Simple Plan. It's called Last One Standing. And here underneath it, you can see where Nathan Lilly got on there talking shit, saying I was the only one who was hiding and all this other stuff. I guess because he couldn't ambush me. So here you have the second part where they, again, try to lure me out to ambush me and attack me and everything. And there's a little bit more of me talking shit back, trying to draw him out, but that never happened. An associate of mine through the Black Dragon asked what was going on, and I left a very large description on that. But what gets funny about it is that when we go to Nathan's page, and bear in mind, Nathan is his middle name. His real name is John Nathan Lilly. So his Facebook is under John Lilly. You get over here and you see him, his brother, my ex, their sister, and this other big guy, I don't know who he is, in the background. I guess it's like, trying to show me that they're all together and, they're, whatever. But when you look down here, you can scroll down, you can see where Mary's name is here. That would be his girlfriend, second from the top, going down his list of friends. And I go down a little bit further, and the images overlapped. You can look at the web address to see that it's still the same thing. And most of the pictures line up. When you go down a little bit further, below that picture where you would see Nathan and everyone together, you see Damn J Lilly, which is DJ Lilly. And then when we go to there's an actual regular screenshot of it. You go down here to family, and you come across Michelle Jennings, first person mentioned in family. This is on Nathan's page. Now, when you go to Michelle Jennings' page and start, and you can see, her name clear as day on here, her face and everything else. This is Magistrate Mary Jennings' daughter. And bear in mind that I met Jessica the same time I met Leah Kirk and Ashley Redden, so their families are all tied together. And as you go down from Jessica Lilly's page, here you see Mary again. She's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th one down. And you can keep going on down to where it shows family. And right there's Damn J Lilly. And then right there again is John Lilly right underneath him. Down there is part of, Michelle Jennings' family. And since she's related to Magistrate Mary Jennings, you can basically see where the whole setup from Jerome came from. I go down there, fight DJ. I'm probably going to get jumped by more than one person. And then, they're going to be telling the cops that I started shit. And I told Jerome to call DJ, talking shit and everything else. That's stupid, childish bullshit. That's your bunch of pussies who have to hide behind the cops and everything while they're pretending to be thugs. I mean, anyone associated with them is a fucking idiot because they're blatantly snitches, blatantly informants. Um, and now I'm gonna keep going down a little bit further. Well, actually, I'm gonna cut back to where that the rest of that text between me and Amanda, where I, told her, wow, you just admitted he won't fight me or try without trying to set me up with the popos. I was like, do you realize how weak this makes you? This is me talking to Amanda. When he even backed down from going up the street with me, uh, at a friend Jessica's house and hid behind the kids. So Amanda over here trying to talk shit and act all hard is just them showing weakness. She actually goes and gets her other boyfriend, who, from my understanding, is also an informant, uh, to make threats to me over Facebook. And I might even include images of that up here. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But like I told her, it shows that she's stalking me and harassing me. It's just really funny. You can look at this whole situation, at everything going on, and you can see where you have informants associated with Magistrate Mary Jennings, who again was close personal friends with Teresa Redden and Bobby Redden, and whose daughter is married to Daryl Lilly, who's close personal friends of Wayne Kirk, and they're close personal friends. In fact, it's really interesting because Trooper Williams is a blood relative of Deputy Jason Redden, who is kin to Ashley in this. So, Trooper Williams' brother-in-law is Trooper Duckworth. So it's kind of strange because you have this whole little close-knit little family, in-law, cousins, brother-in-law, everything else, sitting here like covering up and taking up and protecting each other. And it gets really funny because thanks to DJ and Nathan, uh, and I can't put any blame on Jessica for this because she was smart enough to keep me away from this information, but they didn't do a good job. They had to brag about how they have cousins who are cops that are covering up for their drug deals and that are basically on the take, and how they can get protection and everything from the police because of Magistrate Mary Jennings and who they're associated with and who their relatives are and all this other stuff. And basically, they gave me all this insight to all the criminal undertakings that these people are doing. And I haven't even began to put that evidence out. I'm just putting up this little bit right here, just to kind of whet the taste buds for everybody on YouTube and the rest of the world, because I'm going to keep putting stuff up here, and we're going to get a little bit more in depth. We're going to go a little bit more and more into the criminality that's going on, the corruption, and everything else. You know what? There's a good chance they'll probably try to kill me. There's a good chance. Well, they've already tried to kill me. There's a good chance that they probably, will. It doesn't matter. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit of having to look over my shoulder and worry about somebody trying to kill me or lock me up on false pretenses or making shit up to come and arrest me over some stupid made up bullshit. So we're going to sit here and we're going to start putting out all this evidence in little small little skits, little small little situations. In fact, I'm actually going to looking at the time clock up here on the recording, I think I'm going to actually put up where Amanda's other little ex boyfriend started a bunch of shit, and from this guy's got some severe issues, but we'll go into that in a few. Here's another little couple images of some stuff. DJ went to a friend of mine, said he was going to find me and kick my ass and all this other shit. So uh, I flat out, sent a text to him, man. It was like, tell DJ if he wants to fight me whenever. So he starts with a bunch of shit, and start off with, this was me. I said, dude, I ain't coming to Amanda's, because he told me to come to Amanda's to fight him. I'm not going to come to Amanda's. To be honest, I'd love to show up there and just kick his living ass right in the middle of the fucking living room. Just beat the living shit out of him. I don't give a fuck where I fight him. But here's the thing about it. I'm not going to fight him in front of a 3-year-old little girl. I have my thuggish tendencies. I have my violent streak in me. The Army did a great job of trying to build that. And I've had a really rough childhood, a really screwed up life. So it's there. But I'm not going to go and fight him in front of a little girl. In fact, that's why I even told him, hiding behind Amanda and Raven, Amanda's little girl, is a bitch game. I was like, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You want to fight me? Let's keep it simple. Meet me on the bike trail or the tracks or wherever. You pick a time, and it'll have to be later because I'm in Charleston. He said, ain't nobody hiding but you. I went, yeah, okay. Then when and where? Cut the talk, name a time and place. Being direct about it. And, here he is. Why? When all you're going to do is hide behind the cops then. Who's hiding behind the cops? You and Amanda tried that with Jerome. Amanda's dumbass admitted it on text, which I have saved, which we've already seen, for this video. It was like, so cut the punk-ass excuses and name a time and a place. And he says, all you're going to do is be a bitch and not show up, and if you do, it'll be with the cops. I'm not fucking stupid, Ron. Really? Yeah, you are. And like I told him, he's too much of a bitch, chicken shit to, come out from hiding behind Amanda, her little girl. I was like, so keep making excuses. That's what you're good at. And I just left it at that. For a guy who's wanting to fight me and have me to, come out and be there at Jerome's, why would he run from the fight now? When, and trying to tell me to come to Amanda's, even though he thinks, he can holler castle law and self-defense and all this other bullshit, he's inviting me to come there to fight him. So legally, the castle law will not protect him for me coming to Amanda's to beat his ass. In fact, Amanda invited me to come to her house to beat his ass. Does not protect him. Even if she gets involved, it doesn't protect her. Because you cannot, tell someone to come fight you and then try to claim self-defense when you're provoking, this person to come fight you. It just doesn't work that way. It's legally unsound. In fact, the castle law specifically states that it doesn't cover in that contingency. So they would be just as responsible for disturbing the peace or battery or assault or whatever as I would. We'd both go to jail together. I really don't want to go to jail. That's why I'd rather meet him out somewhere else, and I really don't want to fight in front of that little girl. After a certain point of listening to all the shit talk, I decided, what the fuck? Why not? Let's just go ahead and have it out. And, of course, he just bitched out because he's not fucking stupid. Well, what it is he can't stack the deck in his favor. He can't, set me up with Jerome and all these other people coming out there. And you got to start asking yourself, how are you going to try and play thug and then hide behind someone else? The fact of the matter is that type of weak-willed mentality is the reason why he is a snitch, the reason why he is an informer, the reason why he has his stepmommy's mom protecting him and running to his cousins who are cops and everything else to come protect him, because that's the only way they can work. And in fact, it was DJ and John, or Nathan, however you want to think of him, who were instrumental in causing a lot of the problems and drawing attention to me from the Beckley police and getting them to come up here, which is really interesting because going from that attention that they started getting, it was their interaction with Officer Redden. And then after that, Stewart and Capehart took everything over, which is where the harassment of my students and everything else came from. And again, it ties into this. And of course, thanks to that video from the well, the little part of the in-game video where a certain individual known as Il Felmore went in and got Amy Lilly involved in the whole thing, making up stuff and running to her, one of my business competitors. And she got up there bragging about how she knew all these cops and she was good buddies with these people and she was going to have me arrested and harassed and everything else. Now, even though that's separate from the situation with DJ and Nathan Lilly, it's interesting that you have one of their family members who is, sitting there bragging about how they have all these connections with the police force and they can have me harassed and they can have me locked up and they can do this and they can do that based off what someone on the internet tells them, because, if somebody on the internet tells you something, it must be true. In fact, we're going to look at that video too.
Message. Mr. Collins, this is Amy Lilly. I am the new director of the Raleigh County Public Library. December has been more than generous in trying to allow you to graciously cancel your class and just continue with your whatever you want to call it, and you have failed to do so. I'm making this my formal notice to you that we will not let you hold your class at the library, nor will you be allowed to book any future classes. As you may be aware, or maybe not, my husband is a Department of Defense employee who did spend 9 months in Iraq and won a Global War on Terrorism award. And I take a very dim view of anyone who has lied about his military experience. As a sister of a Navy SEAL and a mother of a Marine, I also take a dim view. I am forwarding your information, your PowerPoint, and everything else related to it to the Beckley Police Department, to NCIS, due to your claim to be a Marine, therefore it does fall under NCIS jurisdiction, as well as Homeland Security. I am good friends with a high-ranking captain, and I will be letting her know what is going on. So please cease and desist any further contact at the Beckley Library. Thank you, and you have a great day.
Bear in mind, you're talking about families where certain members of the family are placed themselves in positions of power and authority, usually within the government, and the other members of the family run an organized criminal enterprise. And here we have someone going off something that someone they don't even know get on the internet, made up, and told them. And there, what we have here is business competitors who are internet trolls who got out of the way of attacking other people's businesses, feeding into the crooked cops and the corruption, who are in, because I have that public image on the internet, and who are in turn, the cops are trying to use that as grounds by feeding the trolls, by bringing in false charges and everything else, because we already heard Lieutenant Deeds when I mentioned, that whole threat about charging with the child porn, and he's like, oh, I didn't mean it as a threat. Well, really? I file a complaint, and your whole response to the complaint and the fact that I was complaining because there was exculpatory evidence on that computer for the whole thing with Ashley harassing me, and you come back with, well, they found child porn on your computer. Really? So I didn't write a statement March 10th and I wasn't aware of that? Oh, wait, that's right, because you tried to conceal the evidence. And see, well, by now I should probably point this out. I let them keep going. They kept going. I recorded the information. I recorded everything that occurred. So what happens is this. There's a record. There's a paper trail. This comes out in a lot of different ways. And I've actually written, I sat down when I was in jail, had nothing better to do, had time on my hands. So I wrote down a script outlining everything from beginning to end. This thing is 14 pages on a legal pad, front and back. And this is over a 6, almost 7 year period. So you're looking at really 28 pages of just information. Because I wanted to write it all down because there's so much involved. I didn't want it, all of it to I was afraid I'd forget things. So I sat down and wrote it all down. And here's the thing about it. I've allowed these people to continue to progress, to keep going. And you heard that excuse, that old saying, give someone enough rope to hang themselves. Well, I've done that. We've seen that Lieutenant Deeds threatened me with the child porn thing. Why? Because I filed complaints. We've seen that certain people happen to be informants or known as informants. All of them are there in this as well. In fact, I'm even going to show another video on here of Tammy Violet, Rachel Farmer's mother, threatening to send gun-toting biker and her boyfriend Robert Townsend, where they had threatened to send gun-toting bikers to my house because her 18-year-old daughter ran away with my 20-year-old cousin. And they were going to send gun-toting bikers to my house and threaten it because it was going to be messy. At the same time, they had Richard Frank trying to take my picture because, lemon trees have such silky smooth leaves. And it looks so pretty over there by the window. And so they, we're trying to take my picture, I guess, to go have the Avengers to come after me or whatever. So we're gonna show that video on this too. I got time. The other ones have all been about an hour. This is only about 30 minutes. And we're just gonna keep examining where all these informants and drug dealers who have ties to the cops keep coming at me and threatening me and attacking me. And it gets very interesting. In fact, the only reason I didn't sue the living crap out of Il Fellmore when he fell for that whole April Fool's Day prank of the civilian counterterrorism course to get him involved to try to interfere with my business practice was because he got me something that was so much more valuable, and this woman's ranting at me. And you can hear it right off the voicemail on my phone.
What's up, huh? What's your name? Yeah. Fucking Maria's ex-husband come in there. He was gonna whoop Preston's ass. Preston called him more. Yeah, he was down there in fucking Maria and Preston's apartment. I was where he takes Tesla that was down. Oh, the dude right there. Yeah, it wasn't one from Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, whichever. I don't know. I just walked in there. They're all yelling. Jack's got his shirt off. He's gonna whoop somebody's ass. Blah, 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 blah. All kinds of stupid shit. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many different tales going around. Nobody knows what the hell's real.
What is your phone for you? Does it have a 4.3-inch touchscreen rate?
I don't think I have a warrant for the special bad Jesus left over when he says she got other days. And I called him my full name, social, everything, and she nothing came back. Yeah, we walked in there and told him. That was when that fucking graffiti bullshit started. Okay, just to be on the same time. Just play on this, just be careful, in case you do get pulled over, the cops come up there looking for him, you may not want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Well, he got a warrant. If he does, they'll pick him up too. Well, if you do, they'll pick you up. But I'm not there now, am I? It don't matter. Damn. It does not matter. I don't have one for me for nothing. What have I done? What? Yeah, you do. I'm going to say you're not just a little car, you're a big car. You're sitting here playing on the DL and I don't even know why. I don't know. Hell, there was a goddamn shooting last night in the cop doing shelf at the apartment. One cop car showed up. No. I don't think they was actually intending to shoot anybody. I think they was just trying to scare somebody. Don't know. They failed miserably. If they was trying to kill somebody, yeah, they failed miserably. I ain't worried about the cops coming to my apartment. Well, I was just saying if they're a kid, you may not want to be there. Hell, the cops have only been to my apartment one damn time, Tammy. And that was when, yeah, you called. How would that underage drinking do?
Rachel's there underage drinking. You damn right. I don't want her to go back to school, man.
You know what? All the bullshit all the time. You know what? It's my kid. I want the best for my kid. Everybody else can fuck their lives up all they fucking want, but it's just for my kid. Sorry. You don't like it? Yeah, well. Well, I'll look at it. Fuck the other lives up. It's not going to Now Marlon's getting fucking charges that he shouldn't even be sitting where he's fucking at right now either. Can't run that straight, baby. It don't matter. It actually won't even make it to the grand jury.
So you can't sit there until you get bailed out.
See, the grand jury convenes January, March. You got April, May.
No, there's like 2, Jeff. 3 when you're out. 2
in jail. Okay.
So it's every 4 months.
No, every 3 months. So you got one coming up in January, another coming up in March. And if they don't convict them in March, then they got to drop it.
Yeah, that's fucking 4 months.
The only reason they're hauling that shit is because Perry knows that me, Eric, Marlo, and Jack all run together. It wouldn't fucking surprise me to start seeing charges getting leveled on fucking Preston and everyone else just because that's Jack's family. I don't see Preston getting any charges. I see Jack getting charges. I don't see Preston. Preston don't even hang out with you all, so I really don't see Preston getting in any kind of trouble. Shit, Preston came up to the apartment, what was it, last night, because Jack wanted to buy some more fucking weed. Well, yeah, that's just because Jack called me. Well, and then him and Marlo got into it because Marlo said something to him and Preston ran his fucking mouth. Marlo was like, you want to fight, fucking fight. Well, that's between Marlo and Preston. I don't give a shit. Because, hell, fucking... I was gonna send, Rachel a message. I got caught a fucking Amber again, dude. Swear to God, Amber must be talking about me, thinking about me something. But I was gonna send, Rachel a message on, Facebook. When I seen that thing about Nicholas County pop up on my, news feed, but I decided not to. I don't know where she at. I know she ain't in my apartment. Hell, instead of calling the cops and making up some goddamn bullshit like that, or sending your gun-toting biker buddies over there, just fucking call me or help me show up. I don't care. Yeah.
If she ain't here by Friday, tell me.
And they know guns carrying motherfuckers, but these motherfuckers want to rock the goddamn world. I do not care. You send gun-toting motherfuckers to my apartment, we're going to have a problem. Well, then we're going to have a problem.
Don't Jack
Okay.
Talking about my dad, my baby's daddy gonna take care of everything. I ain't fucking losing piece of shit. He gonna take care of goddamn thing. All he wants is their fucking money.
He ain't getting the shit. And even if that baby is his, he has no means, source, or know-how to take care of that child. All he is, all he could have been and possible ever be is 5 minutes from though. Well. Oh no, I had a discussion with Jack about that. Which he told me he swears up and down that it's his. Well, that's alright, but he wants a DNA test. He sure the fuck does.
They're both fucking at the same time.
Okay. So good luck to Jack on that one. And I hope he gets his goddamn part broke. And then I'm going to laugh in his goddamn face. Because if Rob sees him, you can bet he's getting his ass kicked. He won't have to get worried about getting his knees struck by Rob. He's going to have to worry about getting his neck broke. He wants to be a man. He tells him to step up and be a fucking man. Don't just call yourself a man. Act like you fucking would. I have no idea. I just know that Jack disappears for hours at a time to go to his grandma. So follow him. Nope. I'm not in this. I really... well, she was at your apartment. It was the last place she was known to be at. Okay. That's for y'all to talk to Jack. If y'all would have came to me instead of calling the cops for some bullshit, I would have... you. Yeah, until after you called the cops, after you hollered the cops and everything else. You told me you told me she was going up there with the cops before whatever. Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, he told me so you already had premeditated to call the cops any damn way. All you had to do was call me. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Jack said they couldn't see Rachel was there, and that made him think Rachel was in there, and then the screen popped out in the fucking window. Of course, nobody says they did that.
And this mysteriously happened too. And then Rachel's stuff that I got her for Christmas just mysteriously appears in your apartment too.
Yeah, I've already brought all of that up with Jack and everything.
And I guess what? He has no clue how he got there. It just walked in by itself.
Oh no, after a while me haggling with him and arguing with him over it, he finally broke down, yeah, Rachel was here, but she's here now. I don't know where the fuck you got her at. I know it ain't his grandma's. No, she was in person, it's on there last night. And I can't track him in a car when he's taking back alleys and streets and cutting through people's yards and shit.
You know what? Me and Ron been too good to these motherfuckers. Too fucking good.
I don't care.
This one that's put in jail and the one that's karma my fucking daughter. Within 2 damn good to all of y'all. And for you all to sit back and do this to us is wrong.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because I have been trying to let this slide. But if you want to holler about that, you having fucking goddamn Rick sit there and trying to take a picture of me while he's supposed to be taking a picture of a goddamn lemon plant is fucking bullshit. Threatening me with motherfuckers having guns coming to my house because you got some beef with Jack is an issue. You got to take yourself, get him out.
Yeah, plain and simple. You don't want him there, get him out.
I have no problem with Jack.
But 6 months ago you did.
Yeah, and me and him have already squashed it. We went to a back room, shut the door, and beat the fuck out of each other.
And by the way, Rich wasn't taking any picture of you, Rich is not worried about you.
I don't give a shit because my either way.
Really what you were reading,
Well, either way, threatening to have motherfuckers with guns and shit coming to my house ain't exactly gonna make me a friend.
They're not coming for you. They're not coming for you.
I don't care. Throw some knots on Jack's fucking head to find out where the fuck Rachel is. That's fine. But it ain't gonna be in my house. They sure as fuck ain't kicking the goddamn door in.
No, they're gonna be in the door. Nobody even said that.
No, they just say it won't be pretty. Okay, well I know how it won't be pretty turns out. And if I have to get caught up in some bullshit, or I have to fucking answer my landlord because I just moved there, and there's all this stupid ass drama.
You mean the same kind of bullshit that Marlon's having to answer for you?
Answer for me how?
Because he's in jail right now because of your situation. It's the same kind of bullshit.
You know what? That's a situation that was created by Terrence. Terrence started that shit with me and Eric and Marlo from the get-go because Marlo didn't pick sides.
Okay, but it still involves you. Same kind of bullshit. Marlo should have been in that situation.
Marlo never picked sides. That's why
Marlo should have been in that situation, period.
He's not. But, I mean, why do you think you're running around trying to fucking find a way to come with $1,000? I'll talk to everybody I know. Jack actually went up there to put his house up for fucking bond.
Now then, it's most interesting to note that with Tammy Violet threatening me and Rachel being associated with Nathan and Lily trying to set me up for this little ambush, and then of course my ex involved with DJ Lily, it's interesting to figure out how this whole thing came about being. See, first of all, Tammy Violet has a daughter by the name of Casey. Her maiden name's Farmer, but her married name is Frank. She's married to John Frank. And Casey and John associate with Amanda. When Tammy couldn't set me up, she put her daughter in a situation to try to set me up. When that didn't work, this was about the same time that Amanda tried setting me up with DJ. When that didn't work, the little group of informants tried mixing and matching different people who thought they still had their hooks in me to try and lure me into different little ambushes and traps and setup and everything else. It's a very active, it's, you can see it's a very active form of entrapment, using different people that they think that I don't realize happen to be snitches or informants or anything else, or that I don't realize are trying to set me up. And I played dumb and withheld the fact that I knew they were trying to set me up as a way to get evidence on them to show that they were trying to set me up. To see how different people kind of allied against me when they couldn't get their hooks in me to set me up for other cases of entrapment. And again, this is really interesting because the situation with Amanda, and then DJ, and then here Nathan magically seems to hook up somehow with Rachel, and to keep trying to pull off these little ambushes and lure me out and everything else. And the whole time I'm just playing stupid, and it seemed like I have dumb luck that they're missing me. And the fact of the matter is, it's not dumb luck, it's just, me playing it pretty close to the chest, but I'm still avoiding them. In this case, I showed it in a chronological order, going from the soonest to the latest happenings. So it originally started off as Tammy using her daughter Rachel. This was immediately after the whole thing with DJ and Amanda. And I mean, you can see how they keep trying to revolve around the same little group of people, trying to fall back on the same on different little groups of people who all happen to have been snitches and informants that I was around the whole time, getting this information, where they were trying to set me up and everything. And this goes back to show how, it's not just a matter of the police harassing me, but the police harassing me using informants to do so, to try to set me up, to try to entrap me, to try to use a pretext for something else as the pretext for, for planning evidence, or finding out what my next moves are, trying to find out what evidence I have on them. So this has been like one big covert ops war game. And unbeknownst to them, I'm actually intelligent. The reality of the matter is that every time somebody on the street says I don't snitch, it's usually because they're a snitch. Everyone who says, I don't snitch, I'd never snitch, blah, blah. Well, the fact of the matter is, almost everybody on the street snitches. It's how they get out of trouble. So I just kind of spun that around and flipped it with all these people who say they don't snitch, but yet you have this constant situation of them harassing me, trying to entrap me, trying to use a pretext to implant people in that situation. I mean, Rachel went so far as to say that she was pregnant by Jack, and knowing that my cousin Jack has this whole, that when he was staying with me, that he has this whole issue because his father wasn't around because he was in prison, that he has this thing about wanting to take care of his kids and everything, and wanting to be a father to any child that, he fathers. And so she used this whole lie about, I'm pregnant or whatever, to get in with him. And then when it came out that she wasn't pregnant, that she lied about the whole thing, and he broke it off with her because of that lie, she tried this whole little situation of trying to hook up with me. And when that didn't work, a whole series of other problems came about. And her mother wouldn't take her back home, as much as she hollered that she loved her and wanted her daughter there and everything else. She wouldn't take her back home, so I had to keep her with me. And the whole time she was there, she was trying to cause me problems, getting information for her mom, the feedback to Detective Allard, who her mom says is her little buddy and everything, with the Beckley Police Department, and you see this constant pattern of harassment. It's informants going back to these same little groups of cops from these same little areas, and the question needs to be asked exactly, at what point does, using informants to catch people committing crimes become, this need to use informants to set people up, the falsify evidence against them for committing crimes, basically fabricating all the evidence against someone else. That's all I'm going to show for this little third video. But the idea where you can see where it's not just the police harassing and falsifying evidence, there's certain other little groups of informants and everything else. So you can see that obviously here, and I have a lot more information that I'm debating on whether or not to put out in the future. Maybe I should start showing, some of these little criminal undertakings which involve these police officers and putting this out on the internet. Let's just see where this goes.